This is the Ordinary Business Podcast for business owners who want honest conversations, a lean business, and an extraordinary life on their own terms. Elizabeth, what are the most random apps on your phone that you use like the most often?
So I have two that I'm a big fan of. I feel like everyone talks about the brick in 2026. I'm not a brick user. I use a different app called Opal that does a similar thing, but I've been using it like since way before the brick was ever a thing. And I like it because you don't like have to have the hardware. It lets me be controlled like if I'm on vacation or whatever. And then my like most underrated app that I will sing the praises of forever is the New York Times cooking app. And
Oh,
you have to pay for the New York Times cooking. You have to pay like a monthly or an annual or whatever. But I love to cook and I hate a recipe on my phone, like the ads popping up, like the classic food
yes.
blogger. And like I'm Half-Baked Harvest's biggest hater. I've talked about this a lot on my page. Like a lot of food bloggers' recipes aren't actually that good. They're written by AI. But the New York Times tests their recipes like I think a minimum of 10 times before they put them on their app or their site or like in their publication. So that's
Okay.
my like go-to.
I love it. I love it. That's very fun. Okay. So now I'm like, okay, might have to check that out. I don't love
Yep.
cooking, but I'm always like wanting to mix it up. And so I'm like,
I'm
I
all
could maybe
about
find some new
simplifying
meals.
choices in my life. And so
Yes.
that's like my one place I go for recipes outside of like an analog cookbook so that I'm
Mm-hmm.
not scrolling Pinterest for like a million hours trying to decide what I'm making that
Yes.
week. Like if
Yeah.
I'm like, I want the best apple pie, it's going to be the New York Times
Okay.
recipe.
Yes. I like this. Simplification. I'm all
Yeah.
about it.
Less choices.
Yeah. Okay. So we are talking today about you removed like business and work apps from your phone.
Yes.
And so we're going to talk about that. But before we do, can you introduce yourself and tell us about what you do?
Yeah, I am Elizabeth. I'm the founder of Your Numbers Gal. We are an accounting firm for service-based entrepreneurs. We work with a lot of boring businesses like construction, painters, things like that. But also, I love working with wellness-focused businesses, private practice clinicians, and there will always be a special place in my heart for the creative entrepreneurs because before I became an accountant, I was majoring in graphic design and working at a graphic design agency. So we kind of do it all in the service-based world. I run a pretty small, lean team, which allows me to have the life that I want and the paycheck I want, but also isn't without its challenges.
Yes, of course. Of course. Okay. So the apps, the business
Yes.
apps, when did you decide to take all these business apps off? Like, was it just a gradual thing? You're like, oh, I think I should do this. Or was there like a breaking point and you're like, I'm done, like changing things up?
That's such a good question. I don't remember making like a cold turkey decision, although I'm an Enneagram 8, so I'm a pretty like black and white, like all or nothing person. I started my business in 2022 and was working full time for a tech company. But then I quit my job in May of 2023. And when you go from working corporate to working for yourself, there's this like switch of like, I feel like a flailing fish. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing when like every minute of my day was accounted for and now I can do whatever I want. We also moved across the country, got a second puppy and bought a fixer-upper in that time period. So like my life wasn't without excitement. And those first 6 months of being fully self-employed were very stressful. And I think I must have taken a vacation and like taken everything off my phone. In 2023, I didn't have any employees, but I took I had a few enough clients and like none of them had payroll requirements, stuff like that like needed me at a certain time, which I kind of miss those days. That I could like say like, I'm going to be gone for the next 10 days. Like I'm not answering emails. And I must have just deleted my email and Slack off my phone one day and then been like, oh, my life's a lot better when I'm not seeing this email notification pop up and like getting a pit in my stomach because I should address it. But like, I can't right now because I'm living my life. Um, and I think from there it was like, okay, this brings me a lot of peace. And my whole lens that I run my business through and also help business owners run theirs through is more profits but only if it comes with more peace. And so
Mm,
that idea of peace has always been very important to me. And I think sometime in 2023, I must have deleted them for a vacation. And then I was like, oh, like this is the way. Like this is so
mhm.
much better. So I like to think I was a little bit of a trendsetter because I feel like everyone's doing it now. And I've been being like, get your email off your phone for so long.
Right. Yes, I have not had email connected to my phone, I don't know, like 8 or 9 years or
Mhm.
something. I will say, I'm guilty of pulling up Gmail in my browser,
Same.
but, like, I honestly, I don't get notifications for, like, anything on my phone besides
Me
text
neither.
and calls.
And I'm like a do not disturb always kind of girl.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will sometimes like pull up my email, but it's like on my terms, you know?
I think there's nuance to it too. Like I've gone through seasons where it's like I'm sitting down at my computer working way less in these 2 weeks
Mhm.
for whatever reason. And in those seasons, even though it's like counterintuitive, like I want to be separated from work, now that I have a team, my ability to get emails and forward them to my team really quickly instead of opening my laptop brings my life more peace in those seasons than having the
Yes.
hard cutoff does. But what I will do is like I kind of fake myself out and create barriers of like I'll be logged in on my Gmail app, but you know how you can like turn inboxes on and off so you can't just
Yes.
open Gmail and look at them. I'll like come check, forward stuff to my team, turn it back off. But that's
Mhm.
just like in certain seasons. Like day to day, I
Yes.
try to be like fully off
Mhm.
because I realized like if I get an email pop up from like a frustrated client, there's besides payroll, there are no emergencies in accounting. Like there
Right.
really aren't. Getting people paid is important. And I just realized like if I'm sitting watching a show with my husband at night and like see an email pop up, like my heart starts racing immediately, even if it's
Mhm.
not a bad email. Like it's this
Mhm.
like, oh, I need to like deal with this.
Yes.
And then my clients like are not getting me at my best versus when I'm actually intentionally sitting down at my computer to do work, like that's when they get my best. So it's beneficial for both of us.
Yes. Yes. And I'm the same way when I see a notification, even if it's not a
Mhm.
bad thing, it's just like my brain is already like, don't forget to do that. Don't forget. Don't forget.
Mhm.
Don't forget. You're going to have to do this in the morning.
It's not me at my best. It ruins my time to myself doing
Mhm.
other things. And so it's just created so much more peace to be like,
Yes.
okay, I'm working. And I think a lot of people come into entrepreneurship thinking like the flexibility is the perk, right? Of like
Yeah.
you can work whenever and wherever you want. And then the further you get into growing a business that really serves you, you realize that like the structure and guardrails make your life a lot better. And
Mhm.
because you have the flexibility to set your own, like that's the perk of entrepreneurship, but it doesn't
Yes.
mean that you just have to be available all the time willy-nilly.
Right. Right. Okay, so speaking of, what kind of systems, expectations are you kind of setting up for clients so that they still feel like supported and quick communication, however quick that is for you and your business?
Mhm.
Because I know that there are certain types of businesses or industries that are kind of like, oh, you need to be on hand, like payroll and those kinds of
Right.
things. So, like, what kind of systems and stuff do you have set up?
Yeah, so in accounting, our life revolves around a 1 month clock. Like right, you get paid once a month, twice a month, biweekly, and we close the books once a month. And so we're able, sometimes it feels like Groundhog Day every single day, but we're also able to create a lot of predictability for my team and for our clients. And so we're able to look 6 weeks ahead and say, like, okay, what are the non-negotiable days that like we know the team needs to be online to run payroll, to do invoicing. I try to remove as many things that need us to be online at a certain time as possible. So like generally I don't love doing invoicing for clients when it needs to be super on demand. But we can create those predictability points and when we onboard clients, the conversation we have is like, hey, our response time is 2 to 3 business days generally. If
Mm,
there's an emergency, like please put it in the subject line of your email or whatever. We also have the nuance of knowing like, okay, it's payroll week. Like there could be an emergency, like
right,
keeping an
right.
eye on it. Like, I'm not checking my inbox for 4 hours straight. Like
Right.
I'm still in there. And I have team members who are still in there. Every client has 2 team members working on their account. And so there's always kind of like a fail safe of if one's out, the other one's probably working. But I set really clear expectations with our clients from the get go of like, I know money, one, feels vulnerable, two, can feel scary, three, can feel like an emergency. Um, in this world, in our client relationship, the only emergency is payroll.
Mhm.
And I'm a pretty like blunt, straightforward person. And that's a conversation that I have in discovery calls is like, hey, this is my communication style. And I might not be the accountant for you if that isn't your vibe.
Mhm.
And so we have that communication. It's also included in our contract that that is our like general communication time. We go so far as to have a clause that they have to initial that says communications via social media or like any unapproved communication methods like will not be answered.
Mm.
Because DMs get lost, like, and also we're dealing with sensitive information. I don't want to be doing that over Instagram. So we set some
No.
really clear expectations ahead of time. And like our goal is always to respond a lot faster than that 2 to 3 day window. But then they're surprised and delighted by that versus being like, where is she? What the heck? Like, so we set that expectation of how our relationship goes kind of really early on.
Yeah, which is super important. And I
Yeah.
think that's really like an easy step that a lot of people can sometimes miss
Hmm.
is like just
Yes.
even giving a range of your
Totally.
response time, just talking about like, are you going to a conference? Are you going to be out of town? Like
Mhm.
all of that kind of
Yeah.
communication stuff, I feel like makes it
Totally. Yeah.
makes it more clear. And I love that you specified like where not to communicate
Uh-huh.
because then that
Yep.
also makes it easier for you to know like
Right.
removing some of these apps and not having to check in and like
Mhm.
all that kind
Totally.
of stuff. It just makes it easier and more streamlined for you and
Totally.
your team. You don't need more tools or tactics. You need a simple way to focus on what actually matters. That's why the Ready Network exists to help founders and teams cut through complexity and lead with clarity and confidence. Through a repeatable planning framework and executive coaching, the Ready Network supports sustainable growth without burnout or hustle culture. Learn more with founder Holly Tate at the Ordinary Business Summit.
Well, and I a lot of the time will schedule my social media posts and then delete Instagram for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. So, like, clients need to know that I am not there to answer
Yes,
the question,
yes, yes.
but they know where to find me.
Yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So do you always do this where you schedule posts and then delete it for 2, 3 weeks? Or is that just like kind of sporadic?
Not Not always, it's kind of sporadic. I just find that, like, especially, like, we just came off of our busiest month of the year. We don't do tax, we do everything that leads up to tax, so January is really busy for us.
Mm-hmm.
And I find in those busy seasons, like, any noise I can remove helps me get the work done more quickly and more peacefully versus feeling like I have so many competing priorities. And so we don't take new clients in January so we can focus on our current clients. And then
Mm-hmm.
I try to eliminate as many distractions from my life as possible. I have my meal plan figured out on January 1st for the whole month. I like to
Yeah.
eliminate distractions. I have all my gym classes booked. Like anything I can do to just be working hard and then when I'm not working, like actually get to just like recharge and enjoy my life is really important to me, especially running a lean team months like January. I work a lot longer hours than I would like to. And that's just the reality of ebbs
Yeah.
and flows. And so it's kind of on a like as needed basis, but I am finding as we work too on like minimizing Instagram being our number one client, like where we're getting clients, I just find that it's serving me less and less. And there's a lot more noise there. And so I have
Mm-hmm.
the last 6 months, like really been deleting it a lot more. What I will do is I'll like get on, schedule all my posts, and then I'll check it on my laptop every once in a while because that stops me from scrolling and wasting time. But also like if I have DMs from prospective clients, I can just like quickly get back to them without being
Yeah.
like fully offline. So I just like to like create some friction around things that suck a lot of my time and also suck a lot of my peace.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna just say reduce this for things that just suck. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I feel like the last few months on Instagram, I've just been like, I'm out. Like,
I'm out. Yep, yep. Okay, so with the boundaries and, like, with the apps and stuff, you've kind of touched on this, but have
Yeah.
you noticed any, like, specific or, I don't know, like, drastic changes with stress and productivity?
We've definitely had, like, situations where it's like, I'll get on my personal Instagram on the weekend and have a client question, and I'm like but I'm a super direct person, and I
Yeah,
think, like, I don't leave room, like, to be offended in business or to be,
yeah.
like, hurt. Like, it is, at the end of the day, a contractual relationship, and while I care so much about my clients, like, I don't care more than the boundaries that I have to
Mm,
enjoy my life. I don't think my business is worth it if I don't get to enjoy my life because of it. Like, I'll go clock in and clock out of a 9 to 5 all day. And so as time goes on, like, there are always, like, little circumstances that come up like that, and it's a reminder to, like, remind of our, like, rhythms of communication, that sort of thing, and I think when there is a lot of work to be done, I do get very tempted to, like, put Slack back on my phone. I used to, like, always take my morning walk and Slack our advisory clients back, like, on my walk, and while that felt really productive, I was, like, not enjoying my time, like, getting sunlight on my eyeballs and, like,
mhm.
seeing nature, and so I do get tempted, like, it's nice to be able to voice memo while I'm driving, it's nice to be able to voice memo on Slack when I'm walking, and in my head, I think I like those rhythms, and sometimes, like, I'll be like, "Man, it's a really busy day, like, I'm just gonna download Slack, do this real quick," and then I'm, like, get to the coffee shop, and I'm, like, frantic, heart beating, like, full on anxiety, and I'm like, "I did not need to be voice memoing while I'm
Mhm.
enjoying my drive, like, let's just, like, throw a podcast on." So, I
Yes.
definitely, like just the, like, pace at which I live my life changes so much, but also I'm so much more productive when I'm doing the one thing in front of me and not trying to multitask. Like,
Mhm.
I'm so much more productive if I'm just doing my dishes instead of doing my dishes and slacking clients back. If I am doing the task in front of me on my computer, a lot of the time, even on my computer, like, I mute Slack and check it twice a day. Um, just like if I can do the thing in front of me, I'm so much more peaceful. I'm so much more productive and like everything is better, right?
Yes, yes. I sometimes like to get, like, in the zone with design, and I'm
Mhm.
like, "Okay, I just want to knock this page out." I will, like, close all the browsers, which
Mhm.
I'm looking at my screen right now, and I'm like, I have, like, 4 different browsers open,
Uh-huh.
and they each have, like, 5 tabs or more.
Mhm.
So, like,
Mhm.
just so many browsers, but I will close Slack, not even just, like,
Yes.
mute it. I will, like,
No, me
l
too.
just completely, like, close the app, close. I'm very guilty. I know some people are like, "I only check my inbox, like, once a day or twice a day." My inbox, I go to that tab, like, 52 times a
Oh, I
day.
can't resist it.
I can't. So, like, if I'm like, "Oh, I really just wanna, like, knock this out," and I
Mhm.
will then close my inbox, and then I open it up, and I'm
Yes.
like, "Oh, 9 emails, great."
It's
But
ridiculous.
yes, but it is nice sometimes to just, like, minimize
100%.
everything and just really focus,
Well,
and
and totally.
go ahead.
Tying
Yeah.
back to the, like, setting client expectations and just, like, communicating early and often, I do that frequently, and I, like, always just update my status with, like, a cheeky little emoji and, like, "I'm in productivity jail today, checking my Slack
Ooh.
tonight." Like, I just
Mhm.
like, a little something like that that, like, I think if I had just, like I remember in corporate, like, people would have, like, the stop sign emoji on their Slack, and it feels, like, a
Oh,
little aggressive and, like, we are all a team, but something to kinda, like, disarm and be like, "I think we can all relate to, like, I am in productivity jail, like, I
yes.
need to, like, get something done today," but also is communicating, like, the expectation of when you can hear back from me, I
Yeah.
think is helps too.
Yes, I agree, I agree. I haven't I think I really only do statuses in Slack if I'm, like, on vacation,
Uh-huh.
because I just remind people that, like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm not gonna be
Not
checking
being
this,"
monitored. Yeah.
but I like this idea of, like, "Hey, I'm, like, productivity day or, like, heavy call day or something,"
Mhm.
like, um
I love a little status. I think status is
mhm.
underrated.
It reminds me of, like, MSN Messenger. I don't know if you ever did
Love it.
that when you were younger. Like,
Yep.
I didn't have AOL. I had MSN Messenger, but
I don't even think I had MSN.
a conversation for another day. That definitely, if I'd had a smartphone back then, that definitely would have been an app I had on my phone
Right.
because I was on
Feel
I was
that.
on chat all the time, all the time. Okay, so last question. For those who are listening who are like, man, I need to like set some better
Mhm.
boundaries. Maybe they're like, yeah, I have all the apps and all the notifications, and I feel like I have
Mhm.
to be there for my clients at all times. Like, what do you feel like is maybe a baby step that they could start with?
I would say start with turning all your notifications off. I think it can feel really, like, out of control to delete the apps right away, but start with just not that instant access to you. I think we were not made as humans to have instant access to so much information and so many people all the time.
Yeah.
Um, and starting with just, like, notifications off, that way on your terms, you can go check things and it gets rid of that, like, anxious cortisol spike the minute you get a notification from that difficult client, is, like, first baby step.
Yes, yes, I agree. Anytime I download like a new app, I'm always like no notifications, but sometimes they somehow get around and they do like the little pop-up banner or
Mhm.
something. And whenever I see it, I'm like, "Oh, what is
I know.
this?
I'm
What
like, I don't wanna see anything on my screen.
this is intrusive. What are you doing?"
Mhm.
I'm like, so
Yeah.
it's very, very nice to not have like all the notifications on.
I don't even get text notifications
Oh yeah, because
if
you're on
they're
do not
not from,
disturb.
like, my mom, my sister, my husband. I don't get a single text notification.
Nice.
It's
I
great.
like
I love it.
it.
I have been threatening to get a flip phone for really hard
Mm.
for the last 9 months. Like, I wanna, like, keep my iPhone disconnected from service as, like, a work phone, but, like, I would love to have a flip phone
Mm.
and just be,
Yeah,
like, hard done what I
I
want to
like
be.
it. Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming and sharing some of your boundaries and
Thank you.
just I think this is a good reminder that we don't need to be like connected and on
Mhm.
call 24/7 for everything. So, where can we connect with you online and learn more about what you do?
I am your numbers gal underscore on Instagram. Tragic that I don't have your numbers gal, but and I think I'm not on TikTok often, but I think that's what I am there too. And then our website is yournumbersgal.com.
Awesome. I will link that in the show notes, but thank you again for being here.
Yeah, thank you.